guys, welcome back to another episode of Who We Become podcast. Today we have Fred Fluellen.
Yes.
We have a Atlanta chef here in the Atlanta area, really climbing up the ranks, and we're going to go through a little bit of his journey. So tell us about where you are right now. If you would have to speak to an accomplishment that you have now, what would you say an accomplishment at this point in your life is?
Honestly, still being alive and getting through college. Being black in America is kind of hard. But also being able to have the opportunity to go to college and get an education and, still be here, in my 30s working. So I think that's a good thing. Not in jail, not out in the streets doing crazy stuff, but finding a way to make it happen the right way.
Okay, so you speak about college even now. Was that a big part of your identity? Did you figure out a lot while you were in college?
Yeah, I would say so. In college, growing up as a military kid, we had, two options: go to college or go to the military.
Okay. So
I chose to go to college, something that I've never experienced before, of course, and I've never known anybody in my family to go to traditional college. So I found myself in college as a young adult. And okay. I met a lot of my people and friends through networking through college. So,
okay, that's going to segue us right into it. So I saw that one of your first positions was like a line cook.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you think of like a line cook, they're just possibly reading a recipe or they know a couple of things by heart. What made you feel like, okay, I need to elevate this and for this to become my calling? Was that in college?
Yes, I took a class. First, I went to school for real estate. The market was down back then, so I switched it to finance.
Give us a date. Or not a date, but like a year. So
2007,
take us back
2008.
There. Yeah, okay.
So the market was crashing. It was bad.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't think I want to keep doing this. So I changed it to finance. Realized I wasn't a numbers guy as I was in high school.
Okay.
So I took a random class to get credit, and it was a hospitality class, and the professor was a professional chef. And he's like, I live in mansions, and I cook for these people, and I fly private jets. I'm like, I can cook a little bit. And I want to live that life. And he suggested that I get a job as a line cook in a restaurant or hotel, and I chose a hotel route that had a restaurant, and that just kind of like started everything for me.
Wow. Are you still in touch with that chef to this day? Do you follow them a little bit?
Most definitely. Chef Dowds, he was a cool guy, cool chef. He was always opening up the kitchen to me. And I was always asking him questions and picking his brain, what I need to do. And he was like, you don't need to go
I'm going to say, what did that look like though? Because if I take a class in college, I'm possibly just sitting at a desk or a table. So you guys were immersed? Like you had access to a kitchen? Or?
Yeah, it's like in the hospitality course, we had to take a cooking class. Everybody had to take it. And it was just like a piece of culinary. We didn't get the whole culinary experience.
Right,
we got that one class.
That one semester.
And that was it. And from there, like he was like, you're really good. And I was like, so what I need to do? Do I need to go to culinary school? And he was like, nah, you don't need to go to culinary school. Get your experience and knowledge just by working in the industry, and that's what I did.
I know that Ty, or my husband, is really good at cooking, and that was like a really big thing that they did when they were younger. So.
Have you met his mom?
Yeah, exactly.
She throws down.
No, but his first inclination was to go to culinary school. So we had thought about that, and then I was just like, I don't necessarily know if there's anything that you can get in culinary school that would be exclusive to culinary school.
I would think I think it's the book knowledge. It's like it's the same thing with college. Like a lot of people, you don't necessarily have to
terminology type thing.
Terminology, technique, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know the proper way to do things, but you can learn that within the industry. There's some shortcuts and stuff that happens, but there's people in the industry that will teach you the right way how to do it.
Right. So how have you developed your skills outside of, since you didn't go to culinary school or develop that terminology, outside of the experiences that you have, how have you developed your skill and made sure that you are working toward becoming like one of the best, or if that's your desire?
You just got to tap into different parts of the industry. I've been on TV in 2016, Food Network's Cooks vs. Cons, and that was a different spotlight. And I was like, oh, I like this.
Okay, Cooks versus cons. What did you pull out of that as far as your culinary development?
I just stuck to my guns with that one. My episode in particular was called Shrimp and Gridiron.
Oh, okay.
You give me shrimp and grits. I cooked shrimp and grits, had shrimp and grits so many times. It's
right.
like, and people always request it. So it's something that's secondhand nature.
Yeah.
So I won my dish with candy bacon. We had to use bacon of any sort with the dish, and I did candy bacon over shrimp and grits. And then the second part of it was to use cherries in any form of fashion. And I knew people were going to go the sweet route with it. People think cherries, they think something sweet. So I did something savory. I did lamb chops with a chimichurri sauce.
Ooh.
So it's a chimichurri, and I just added fresh cherries to it. And I added.
Wait, walk me through this chimichurri.
Chimichurri is like it's a sauce that you use on steak. A lot of people, I think, it comes from Venezuela or Argentina. They use that sauce on all their steak. It's parsley, red peppers, vinegar, red wine vinegar, and some people.
So it's like kind of like a light.
It's like a light herb sauce.
Okay.
Garlic, onions
I was thinking
in there.
creamy.
No, not creamy, not at all.
I don't know. I always thinking creamy on top of
It's
steak.
kind of like a vinaigrette herb type thing.
Okay.
So fresh herb.
That makes sense with the steak. It just like
exactly. It just sops it up, and I went with that. So that was my first taste of the big lights, the big screen, national TV, and I ended up winning. And
wait, how did you get here? Like, did you reach out? Were you like, let me try this? I know this person here.
This is random. So I just got on Instagram, social media, and just started following casting for different things.
So you set your intentions.
Yeah, I was doing it, and I was staying with friends on the couch. I was couch surfing the whole time. So I was like, let me make myself useful, and let me get up and go to the library. So I used to go to the Georgia State Library all the time, and I just fill out applications, and they randomly call me back. And I thought it was like a credit collector, or student loans calling. They call from random numbers.
Right.
So I was like, California, New York number, let me pick up.
Right.
And it was them, the producers, and I was
wow.
like, wow, this is real. And then they like.
And they were filming in Atlanta?
No, they flew me to New York.
What? I didn't know they were flying people out.
Yeah, I got flew out. I got flew out.
Wow, that is amazing for a first experience.
First experience, and it was amazing. And I went up there with nothing to lose. So I was like, I'm going up here. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna cook whatever I need to.
Yeah.
And I went up there with that mindset, and I ended up winning. And it was just like, it was crazy.
That is so amazing. So, in thinking about like these dishes that are traditionally cooked in Southern kitchens, like shrimp and grits and things like that, how do you make sure you're adding a little bit of your personality to make sure that you're standing out and not just, shrimp and grits that you could just get from IHOP or something to that extent?
And that's the thing with food in general. We all have the same ingredients. We just got to flip it and put our own taste to it, our own flavor to it. Me being a military kid background growing up, I just knew like I had to grab that Louisiana shrimp Cajun flavor and pair it with the Southern Georgia creamy grits. So that kind of saved me and helped me develop my cooking style.
So it was like a spicy sweet type of.
Well, spicy creamy.
Okay.
The grits was like Parmesan cream, and the grits with Parmesan cream, and the shrimp was like a nice butter, kind of spicy Cajun on top. So it just kind of, the flavor just mixed very well. And then you got the sweetness of the candy bacon on top. And the crunch. And then, bacon always has that good flavor. So.
Oof. That was hungry. Now we gotta figure out what we're going to eat. So, in going from there, for it to be a positive experience for you, were you using that as a connection to continue in that realm? Or what was your hope coming out of winning that competition?
I really wanted to network and to see where else I can go in that avenue. But the show was shot so quick, and then it was like, I flew there. We shot for like 14 hours, and I was done. I was back.
What?
Like, it was so quick, and then I didn't really have time.
Hours.
I didn't have time to talk to anybody.
So you really were in a time crunch. Like
I got off the plane. They flew me out, went to the hotel, stayed there, checked in. The next day, we got up at 7 in the morning. We shot to probably like 8, 9 at night. Went back to the hotel, went to sleep. Got up the next morning, was on the flight, and I was out of there.
Wow. You was back in time for class, I guess.
Right. I was like, I really, or for work, I was like, I really wanted to network with producers. I wanted to network with, the host and everything. But everybody just seemed like they had to be on the next flight out the next day. So I was like, dang, like, I just won and y'all ain't show me no love.
Right, that's unfortunate because it seems like they at least pause, or what I was thinking, it was like a couple days or something to that extent. So where did you find yourself after that? You're continuing to network the way you've been working?
That kind of gave me confidence to do my own thing. So I started my business, Flu University, and that year, October, I got the LLC and everything, but it's slow starting up. I didn't know what to do. My friends kind of forced me to do it.
Wait, what year was this?
2016.
Okay.
And my friends kind of forced me to, like, you got to find a way to get people to pay for your food. So I just started doing, I was losing money. I was doing stuff for free.
Oh, yeah. That first year,
it's rough.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need something else. So I went back to the stadiums and I went back to the Georgia World Congress Center and just started doing my day job, just working all the time. But even then, those long hours all day, every day, I was like, I have to find a way to take all this and to do it for myself. And slowly but surely, with people helping me around, I eventually got there. And I walked away from it in 2019. August 2019, I walked away from the stadiums.
3 strong years.
3 strong years.
Yes. So Flu University, what is the premise? What are you trying to achieve?
I just want to be able to teach people cooking. Everybody can cook.
Yeah.
Put your own flavor into it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I go by the motto, in order to learn something, you got to burn something. So go in the kitchen and mess up. It's okay.
Look, that sounds like my type of kitchen. Because I'm like, when I first started cooking,
you gonna burn something down.
How you supposed to figure this out?
Don't burn the kitchen down.
Right.
But you gonna mess up, and we all have our bad days in the kitchen, and we have our inconsistencies. But learn from it, grow from it, and just take it to the next level. Innovate. Be different.
Absolutely.
It's because we get to the age now is where it's our time to take over the holidays, the plan, and the cook. So instead of doing the same traditional stuff, take that and flip it. What can we do with the mac and cheese? What can we do with the collard greens? What can we do with the turkey that's different? So it fits our culture and our time.
Right.
Instead of the same stuff that we eat every year. So
tell us about how you are doing that. So we can come and crash your Thanksgiving since you flipping and dipping.
My flip is mac and cheese. I take the traditional mac and cheese and I flip it by adding smoked salmon. It's smoked salmon that I smoke in-house. The smokiness of the salmon, the creaminess of the cheese, the different types of cheese with the mac and cheese. I even use a different noodle. I use cavatappi noodles. So I just try to flip the whole dish but still make it mac and cheese. But when you bite into it, it's like different.
Yeah.
And with collard greens, I'll take collard greens and I'll make collard green egg rolls. I'll do something like that because it's just something different.
I was talking to my brother-in-law, Neil, earlier today, and he didn't have any kale for his food, but I'm like, we got collard greens. He's like, I ain't never tried that before, but I'm like, it's still like a leafy green.
It's the family. You can flip food. It's just what your take on it. I've even seen people put mac and cheese and sweet potatoes in egg rolls. Because, they say... It's
like a deep fried?
Deep fried. They take the mac and cheese and sweet potatoes and they roll up in an egg roll. And they said, it's a thing that they say on like memes and stuff. When that mac and cheese touched the sweet potatoes, it's like a perfect match or something like that. So people actually make egg rolls out of that.
Yeah, I've seen that as a dessert several times. Deep fried. That was us at the state fair. We had to just not go after a while because you'd be 20 pounds deep within it.
You got to get you a turkey leg. You got to get the fried Oreos and a funnel cake. Those are like the main 3 things.
Right. So in knowing that you're trying to develop this Flu University, how are you reaching out? How are you growing?
Right now, I'm using my national TV platform to kind of reach out. I'm doing different social media platforms to get people attracted to what I got going on. Locally, I'm hosting events. I'm attending events, getting my face out there. That's the main thing you have to do is to put yourself out there. It's hard and it sucks.
Yeah. It's a grind for sure.
It's a grind. You have to do it. And eventually, I'll have that fan base that's always looking forward to the next event. I hosted it last year around this time. I hosted my first ever event at a treehouse here in Atlanta. Atlanta Treehouse down in East Point. And
Is that really big here?
It's not really big, but the treehouse is black owned. Okay. And it's like a whole bunch of Airbnbs in this like neighborhood that you would never think of. And Daryl and Patrice own it. And me and Riggs went there and we put on an absolute like crazy dinner.
Who is Riggs?
Riggs is a mixologist that I partnered with and we did it.
Ooh, drinks too?
Yeah, so like the morning time I did like, we set it up initially was to do a brunch. But I went back to Daryl and Patrice. I was like, I think I could pull a dinner off too. It was like the same day. I was like, yeah. I think that was my ego talking.
No, that's lit. That's lit.
That was my ego talking, and I was like, I can do it. And I went back. I said, what did I just do to myself?
Right.
But the brunch I partnered with my friends Javon and Amber. They have a nonprofit business with babies. They help mothers, newborn babies, get diapers and formula and stuff. So we did a brunch for that. All you can eat brunch. All you can drink mimosas.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good. Then we flipped it that night, and Riggs came in, and we partnered up, and we did 5 courses with 5 handcrafted drinks. And it was a pairing. We had a violinist there. We had a DJ there. We had a photo booth there at a real treehouse. So
this was during COVID.
Yes, during COVID.
Yes, but Atlanta was never closed.
Well, Atlanta was never closed, but we capped it at 35 people. So
okay.
It was very small, intimate. People signed waivers. We took temperatures at the door, so it was very safe. And the event was a 100% success.
Okay, that sounds amazing. I know that we moved to like a big metropolitan area. We were in Dallas for that reason, but a lot of the fun that we've been having is here. Yeah,
Atlanta's where it's at.
It's Atlanta. I'm like, man, we got a little.
And we're World Series champs too, so.
Yeah, friends in Houston weren't so happy about that. Kids was going home crying, all of that. So let's go back to the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to pivot during COVID, or how did COVID impact?
Initially, it was like, what do I do? People wasn't going out anywhere. You weren't getting booked at all. Nobody knew what was going on at the time.
Right.
So it was like, work shut down. What am I do? And then like,
what was work for you at this time?
I think I just left the stadium, and I was like, oh man, they shut down the stadium. It's real.
Yeah.
And nothing, canceled games and everything. I was like, oh, well, so what people going to do? Like, how are we going to get money? How are we going to pay our rent? Like,
right.
And nobody knew anything. And then after a while, Atlanta shut down for like 2 months, and then they opened back up. But people still weren't going to restaurants. So that's when the calls came in. Hey, can you do, hey, I got to spend my birthday inside. I got to do an anniversary inside. Can you do small dinners? I was like, yeah. And that's when it took off.
Yeah.
And then being in Atlanta, being a black chef in Atlanta, it's a lot of us here. And with the pandemic, we dealt with the whole Black Lives movement and everything. So the spotlight was really on black chefs. We had the food industry in our hands because Black Lives Matter was at the front of the scene, and it's COVID. Nobody's going out to eat. So we were getting hired like crazy to where it was like, we need, hey, you need help with your event? You need help with your event?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was partnering.
We was partnering, and then we were just trying to cook for everybody. And that's when it picked up, probably like the end of May. It started to pick up. And then you had the help loans coming in to help you out with your business. Because, I mean, as a sole proprietor, you don't have any employees, but you just hire on a time basis. So those helped as well. And that just kind of kept us up. And I just took full advantage of it.
Yeah, no, that seems like the most appropriate way to pivot, especially with, I think about the people that are on TikTok and all they do is make food, but these people are getting booked. I'm like, this is the craziest
I'm trying to figure TikTok out now. Like,
yes,
how?
Because I used to be a teacher, and with my kids at the end of the school year, when the tests and stuff were done, they were always like, Miss, can you come and do a TikTok with me? I was like, man, I don't even dance like that. But now I look at TikTok, and it's so much more than dancing.
It's hacks on there. I mean, I see a lot of cooking stuff on there. I'd be like, oh, let me take some notes. Right. Like, it's resourceful.
So have you plugged into a network of chefs? You say you've partnered with some people.
Yes, most definitely. In Atlanta.
Is that like organized, or it's just like word of mouth?
Well, in Atlanta, we have a real tight chef community. A lot of us know each other. So people come and ask for recommendations. If I can't do it, I recommend a chef. And if they can't do it, our chef network is so tight that anybody that comes here, it's kind of like you got to check in to see, like, let me see what's going on.
Somebody got to know you.
And then it's good for upcoming chefs because we never had that. It's not a big thing in the chef world, period, that unless it's like older guys that hang out or that cook together. But like as far as young black chefs coming together and putting on events, it's nothing like that. But we've built that here, and it was through Food Lifestyle TV that kind of helped push that movement. But even past that, we're starting to come together and collaborate more instead of everything being a competition.
That's awesome. So I'm a new chef out of college, and I know that I know how to put a couple things together. Have a little bit of passion for food. What's the first thing you're going to tell me to do? This is post-COVID, so it's not the same way that you started out. So, and now, how do they navigate this market and trying to get an audience?
Well, now is you really gotta. How I start and how I would suggest people to start is if you want people to taste your food, you gotta give some food away. You gotta give a lot away in order to receive, because people. It looks good on Instagram, but there's been times where people bought it or they went to that restaurant and it was just trash.
Yeah.
And you know what plays a part in that? Customer service.
Right.
Food is cold.
Right.
Sometimes if you really want it, you got to just put yourself out there and be willing to give it away. And then the response that you get from that, people are like, oh, I'll buy it next time. You know, they'll put a price on it. And when somebody put a price on it, then it's up from there, you know?
Yeah. No, that is excellent advice. So, any new chefs starting out, you see this episode, I hope you get out there and grind.
Give your food away. It will come back tenfold, trust me. If it's good.
Absolutely, yeah. Work on that skill first. So that's all we have for you today. Tell them where they could find you.
Instagram, Loving the Flu. Twitter, Loving the Flu. YouTube, Flu University Foodies. Facebook, Flu University Foodies. Go to the website, fluuniversityfoodies.com. Flu University is everywhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have merch coming out, and I want to take my events on the road. So coming to a city near you soon. Be on the lookout.
Absolutely. Check that out, guys.
One more thing.
I got you.
November 20th, I'll be on the first African-American food competition show on Discovery Plus and on TV called The Great Soul Food Cook-Off. All black cast, all black judges, and our host is black too. Cartier, Eric, and Melba are going to be our judges. So you all look out for that. November 20th. It's a whole series. Catch us every Saturday from then on, and you guys are going to love it. It's good for the family, and it's going to be fun and entertaining. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes, November 20th.
Discovery Plus. The Great
channel.
Soul Food Cook-Off.
Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next episode.